Okay, if you're in nursing school, you know the deal. The math part, it can be so stressful. But you know what? It really doesn't have to be. In this explainer, we're going to build your own personal toolkit so you can absolutely master those dosage calculations and lab values with total confidence. Let's get right into it. Sound familiar? I bet it does. You've probably heard this exact debate a million times in your study groups. It's a common struggle, and it's totally normal to feel kind of stuck wondering which way is the right way. But here's the secret. The only right method is the one that actually clicks in your brain. So if you feel like you're constantly fighting with the numbers, guess what? You're in the perfect spot. We're going to break all of this down into simple, easy-to-use tools you can start using, like today. Let's get this fixed for good. All right, first things first, let's wrestle with the big one, dosage calculations. This is where being precise is everything, but the process itself can be super straightforward once you find a system that works for you. When it comes to the math, you've basically got two main options, the formula method and dimensional analysis. The formula method is kind of like baking with a recipe. You just plug in your numbers and it tells you exactly what to do. Dimensional analysis, that's more like solving a logic puzzle, where you line up all the pieces until only the answer is left. Neither one is better than the other, it's all about what makes sense to you. Let's zoom in on the formula method first. A lot of people love this one because it's so reliable. The magic formula is desired over hand times volume. Desired is just what the doctor ordered. Hand is what you actually have in the medicine cabinet. And volume? That's just the form it's in, like how many milliliters or if it's one single tablet. Let's actually try one out. So the doc orders 100 milligrams. You look at the vial and it says you have 10 milligrams for every 2 milliliters. Simple enough, right? So we plug it in. 100 for desired, divided by the 10 you have on hand, and then multiply by the volume, which is 2 milliliters. Do the math, and bam, 20 milliliters. See? Not so scary when you take it one step at a time. Okay, now listen up because this is probably the single most important point I'm going to make. It does not matter which method you pick. If you don't know your basic conversions, none of it works. This is the foundation of everything. You have to get this part right. So think of this as your ultimate conversion cheat sheet. These are the ones you're going to see over and over and over again. Kilograms to pounds for patient weights? Check. Teaspoons to milliliters? Yep. You have got to get these locked in. Seriously, screenshot this, write it down, whatever you need to do. This is a lifesaver. All right, enough math for a minute. Let's switch gears. We've talked about calculating. Now let's talk about remembering. We're moving into part 2. Hacking your brain to remember all those pesky lab values without wanting to pull your hair out. First on the list, potassium. Normal range is 3.5 to 5.0. Okay, how in the world are you supposed to remember that? Easy. Think about bananas. You buy them in a bunch of, 3 to 5, right? And you like them when they're about half ripe. That little 0.5 is your key, 3.5 to 5.0. It's kind of genius, isn't it? Next up, calcium. Normal range is 9 to 11. The trick for this one is so good because it's so dramatic. If someone's calcium levels are way off, it's a big deal. It's an emergency. You might have to call 911. Get it? Call 911, 9 to 11. You'll never forget that one now. Okay, let's talk about BUN. That's blood urea nitrogen. The range is 7 to 20. The memory trick for this is perfect. Just think about going out for a burger. A hamburger bun, depending on where you go, could easily cost you anywhere from $7 to like a fancy $20 burger. Hamburger bun, $7 to $20. It just works. And check this one out for chloride. The normal range is 95 to 105. Just imagine it's a blistering hot summer day. What's the perfect temperature to go swimming in a nice chlorinated pool? Probably when it's super hot outside, right? Like 95 to 105 degrees. Chlorine, pool, hot day, 95 to 105. Boom, locked in. Okay, now for the complete blood count, the CBC. This test is amazing. It's like a snapshot of what's happening inside the body. By looking at all these little cells, the red ones, the white ones, it tells a whole story about a patient's health. It's pretty cool when you think about it. So, two of the big players in a CBC are hemoglobin and hematocrit. Now, you'll need to remember the general ranges for hemoglobin. But here's the amazing part, the real hack. You don't have to memorize a whole separate range for hematocrit. You just take the hemoglobin number, multiply it by 3, and you've got your hematocrit range. It's like a 2-for-1 deal for your brain. So we've gone through a bunch of how-tos, how to do the math, how to remember the numbers, But let's just pause for a second and talk about the why. Why does any of this actually matter in the real world when you're on the floor with a patient? This quote right here, this is it. This is the bottom line. It's not just about getting a good grade on a test. This is a legal responsibility. When you're a nurse, you are the final checkpoint. You are responsible for making sure that patient gets the right amount of medicine. It's a heavy thought, but that's why we practice this stuff until it's perfect. And that's the whole point. Getting the calculations right means you are actively preventing medication errors. That's huge. And knowing those lab values cold, that means you're the one who can spot a problem brewing before anyone else. You become the patient's first and best line of defense. Look, all of this, it's not just about memorizing facts. It's about building real, solid confidence. The kind of confidence that lets you walk into a patient's room, know what you're doing, and feel ready for whatever comes your way. It's about feeling competent and prepared. So let's recap. Here's your brand new toolkit. First, stop trying to do everything. Pick one calculation method and just get really, really good at it. Second, have that conversion chart somewhere you can always see it. Third, use these silly mnemonics. They work. Fourth, and this is a big one, practice. And finally, the golden rule. Always, always double check your work. So, I'm going to leave you with this. After everything we just went over, what's the one tool you're going to grab from this toolkit and start using today? Are you going to master that universal formula? Or maybe start using the banana trick for potassium? Whatever it is, pick one and start building that confidence right now. You can absolutely do this.